Alright, so in response to her first claim, basically she was saying that, let's see, not only do employers value general education, but later on in their careers, students also appreciate general education classes. According to Benjamin M. Wu from the Harvard Crimson, multiple GE classes are useless for the careers of different majors. Today's learning process is much more categorized depending on a person's major. So this being said, so to like an engineering major, literature and music might be irrelevant. So therefore, employers would not be impressed being that they took those classes. They might be a little bit more impressed if they took something more related to their major or like another tech elective or something like that. Also, if you went to like a career fair or something like that with your resume and you had, if you were an engineering major and you had literature or music written on your resume, they probably wouldn't be very impressed either. Also later on in life, how she was saying that people enjoyed or liked the fact that they took those general education classes. It does cost a lot of money to take these general education classes. Being that it can take up to 2 years to get your general education classes done, if you didn't have that requirement, you'd save a lot of money. You wouldn't have as much student debt, especially at schools where the tuition's $40,000 or $50,000, crazy up there like that. So I'm sure that those people would be a little bit happier later on in life. They didn't have to spend an extra 80 grand, 100 grand on their general education classes just to say they did it. Then for my response to her second claim, she was saying that only 72% of workers that they were doing jobs that were, she said that only 72% of people that were working with college degrees were doing jobs of that major. That being said, at the University of Massachusetts, it costs roughly $23,000 a year in tuition fees and room and board. The required general education classes are not worth $46,000. This shouldn't be something that's mandatory for people that have chosen something they want to do and they're really determined to work for them, for that type of major. It also takes away from major classes. According to the 2018-2019 mechanical engineering semester curriculum at Cal Poly, they only removed one of the 18 general education requirements from the previous curriculum. Within that curriculum, the number of required core courses for a mechanical engineering degree was changed from 35 to 23. So that they combined a bunch of the classes and took out a bunch of the classes, but left the majority of all the GE classes still there, so therefore it's taking away from the majority of what the major was standing for before. And then in response to her third claim regarding that general education's, they made undergrad degrees very impressive, that is mainly just a matter of opinion. A study by John W. Pope Center for Higher Education Policy states that while UNC Chapel Hill actually appears to be better than average in the ACTA grading scheme, receiving a B for the general education classes, with closer inspection, general education curriculum is badly undermined by the fact that students may choose from a huge smorgasbord of courses to fulfill their requirements. Many of those courses are hardly the building blocks of a core education. A couple of the classes, just as my last note, that were offered or are offered at Chapel Hill are called The Stage Musicals of Rodgers and Hammerstein, Food and American Culture, The History of Hip-Hop Culture, Sex and Gender in Society, Guerrillas and Revolution in 20th Century Latin America. And he says that maybe those are worthwhile courses, or maybe not, but they shouldn't satisfy a student's core requirements. Should be it.